As teenagers, we often look up to our parents as role models, people to look up to, but we don't always take their advice. Driving for me is a really great example of this. My mom hates when I drive in the snow, hates when I drive far distances at night. Anything that's not normal in town driving, she does not want me to do. So one day, of course, I decided not to listen to her. I had gone online previously onto a buy-sell trade group where I had talked to one girl about buying her used winter formal dress. At our school, we have a dance called Winterfest, and people wear short dresses, and I didn't want to buy a new one. So I took the liberty of going online to this buy-sell trade group, talking to this girl, and offering to come up and try on her dress. She told me she lived in Fort Dodge, and I live in Sheraton, Iowa. So I figured Fort Dodge is just a little bit north of Des Moines, right? So it's just gonna be like a little over an hour away. That's okay to pay for a dress. At least that's what I was thinking. So after work one day, I call up two of my friends, Abby and Allie, and ask them if they want to ride along with me to a place just a little bit north of Des Moines and to pick up this winter formal dress, this used dress. Of course, I keep in mind in the back of my head that my mom always tells me not to drive at night, not to drive places that you don't know, all these things that she has told me in the past. And of course I don't take her advice. I go anyway. I tell her I'm just going a little north of Des Moines too. So I get in my car and I'm driving with my friends on the way to Fort Dodge, which is actually about 3 hours away. Des Moines is about 1 hour north of me, Fort Dodge is about 3 hours north. So little white lie had taken place that day. So I'm driving with my friends, Abby and Allie. Never been on these roads before, just going, using my GPS, and I realized that my cruise control does not work. If you don't know me, I am a person who always uses cruise control anytime I leave town, always. Like, it is just something that I have to use. I cannot just keep speed control on my own. And so we're driving, we're running a little bit late, my cruise control isn't working, I'm going a little too fast, and a cop whips out around behind me and flashes his lights. My heart drops. I have never been pulled over before, and I pull over, I'm super nervous. I'm like, what do I do to my friends? And so I get out my registration, I get out my driver's license, and the cop walks up beside me. I roll my window down. He proceeds to ask me how old I am, if I have my papers and my license, and I give those to him. He asked us what we were doing today, and I told him that we were driving to Fort Dodge. He asked me if I went to college up there, and I said no, I'm only 17. And so then I asked him if everything was going to be okay, and he said yes. He asked me why I was going to Fort Dodge. I told him I was going to buy a dress. He asked me if it was a wedding dress. I remember that very distinctly because I was taken aback a little bit. I was really surprised that he asked me if I was buying a wedding dress when he knew I was only 17 years old. So I said no, it's just a high school dance dress. It's just the dance for my winter formal. And he said, oh, okay. And he took my papers and my license to go back and check them. He came back up and said I was going a little fast. I was going about 19 miles over the speed limit, I think it was. Not good, but he wasn't going to give me a citation because it was only the first time I had been pulled over. Thank goodness. Oh, so we get over that first speed bump. I realized that maybe my mom was right, that I shouldn't just drive long distances far away, but I keep going anyway. We get to this random girl's house, and I go inside by myself. She takes me down to her basement where I'm trying on her dress. It's a super new, super uncomfortable place, and I'm just trying on this dress in a random girl's basement in a town I've never been before. Kind of sketchy. And so I'm trying on this dress. I decided it fit good enough, and I buy it. So then I get back in the car, I'm driving my friends home. They were very happy that I had bought it since they had come with me on this 3-hour drive when they didn't think it was gonna be that long. I couldn't just not get the dress after that, is at least what I felt like. And we decided we were a little bit hungry. By now it's about 10:30 at night, super dark out. I know that my mom doesn't want me driving in the dark, but of course I don't listen to her. Like most teenage girls, I just do what I want, which probably wasn't a good idea, as you'll find out. So I am going to Taco John's, we decided, in Des Moines, in not a good neighborhood. It's on the road, Indianola Avenue, right after the big intersection. So I park at Taco John's, I get out, left my key in the car. The car was locked. Yeah. So I just locked myself out of my car at night in a bad neighborhood in Des Moines with just me and my 2 other teenage girlfriends. Super scary. I call my mom, she doesn't answer. I'm thinking, this is probably why she didn't want me driving at night, because she goes to bed super early and can't help me. So I end up calling my aunt. She asked me if I had AAA. I told her I did not even know what AAA was. Apparently it's an emergency service that comes in. They can unlock your doors or replace your tire, and you just pay for it like monthly. It's a pre-signed service. And she had a couple glasses of wine to drink that night, so she couldn't come down, but her AAA insurance did cover my car because it was actually her car that I had purchased off of her, and she still had insurance through AAA on that car. So it was all good. The car door unlocker guy came down, helped us out, and us 3 young girls were able to get out of that bad neighborhood. And on my way home, I just remembered and thank God that everything was okay, remembered my mom's words of advice, and decided that I should probably listen to them next time. I now know why it is so important to listen to your parents, because they've probably been in the experience before. They know what is wrong, they have been there, done that, and that is why they give us these advices. So now I know that I should research my drives a little bit more and that I should listen to my mom. Thank you.